We're super excited. We just did the group for Life After California, which that group specializes in people that have actually left California. Now we want to talk to people that are in California for the Leaving California group. And I am so excited that I am your host. My name is David Berry. I'm going to be the host tonight for this first live event. And we have the founder with us, Terry Gilliam. Hello, Terry. How are you? Good to see you.
Thanks, David. Great to be here tonight. It's 10:33 in Florida right now, so PM. So thrilled to be here.
Awesome, Terry. And then we have the Muscle Movers are here. I have Vincent Perez and Jeff is here as well from Muscle Movers. Thank you guys for being here tonight.
Thanks for having us, David.
And Terry, I understand that this is your first live event. You've been doing these Facebook groups for over 5 years. Is this really your first live event?
Well, this is my first live event in the Facebook groups. Allison Woodall, who does most of our videos and edits them, she's done several Facebook Lives, but this is my first Facebook Live.
Well, we're super excited, and it seems like we waited till the right time because we have a concept today that's going to blow your mind away, and we have some really, really great information about moving and moving costs and how you can let your realtor split the bill. But before we get into that, Terry, I would like to talk to you a little bit about your thought process of how you came up with this concept and you created both of these Facebook groups. And by the way, congratulations. I saw that you're almost up to 280,000. You're almost at 300,000 members. What an accomplishment. Maybe you could share a little bit about the vision and how you got here.
Sure. So I was living in, I was born and raised in Florida, moved to California in 1986. Lived there for 35 years before I finally left. But many years before I left, I didn't see the politics going the way I wanted them to. I didn't see the cost of living going the way I wanted it to. I started seeing a lot more crime, a lot more homeless. Every time quite frankly, not a single thing or person I voted for ever won. And I'm talking for more than 20 years. That was a lot of fun. I saw California being the train wreck that it's become many years ago. So I said, look, I can't be the only guy who's frustrated here. So I started this group, Leaving California, in September of 2018. I still remember sitting at my desk saying, what do I call it? How about Leaving California? Found this backboard, the background. 6 months later, I had 200 members, and today we're getting ready to hit 100,000 members. And then combined with Life After California, that one's got about 180,000, I think. So between the two groups, we're at 277, growing daily. And again, my whole goal is to help people get the heck out of that state if they want to, and go live a much higher quality of life somewhere else, because it's certainly been great for me to come back to Florida almost 2 years ago now.
So I think I heard you tell a story on that Insider California article. And by the way, if you haven't watched the California Insider with Terry Gilliam, I think he's got almost 750,000 views on that thing. It's crazy how many people have watched that. You had talked about just, kind of like a hobby. You just had a couple hundred people and then it just started to explode. So did you ever envision it getting like this and having this many people?
My goal was to get to 1,000 people. I said, if I can just get to 1,000 people, then I've really helped a lot of people. So, yeah, I think I struck a nerve. I could be wrong. Well, here's the other thing, David, is that sure, I have a lot of realtors in the group, things like that. People like Muscle Movers, a lot of movers and mortgage people. But if you look at the other, like there was another guy who started Leaving California right after I did. And it's just a realtor site. It's just realtors saying, hey, I'm the best looking realtor in Carlsbad, list your house with me. And that doesn't serve anybody anything. So I really have tried to keep it member centric to where we're serving the members, but also the members, obviously. It's a great group because of the members. It's not because of me.
Well, speaking of serving your members and offering education and offering tips and things that people need to know about before they leave the state, that's going to be a great lead-in for me to introduce to us Jeff from Muscle Movers. And Jeff, what a great concept! This is a great idea, and I think from what you said, you've done this in the past.
Yes,
so
I have.
Could you share some of this?
Yeah, everybody that's considering moving long distance or leaving California, or whether you're leaving, it doesn't matter what state you're going to, as long as you you're faced with the same set of challenges that everybody else is. And one thing I've noticed in both Life After California and Leaving California, people share their experiences, their challenges, and it's very helpful for the members within the group. So anyway, with Muscle Movers, we get a tremendous amount of business from these Facebook pages, and we do our best to help people out and even coach them when they're using other moving options. But when you're faced with there's a lot of different challenges. You've got to find a great realtor to sell your house. Usually people use a realtor. Mm-hmm. Then they've got to find some way to transport all their household goods, whether it's U-Pack or Pods or Pack Rat or, renting a Penske truck. I mean, there's several different options. And all of them, I don't have anything bad to say about all those options. They very much have their own set of pros and cons. They serve a purpose. And we refer to all those places a lot because they're a good fit for people based on their certain needs. Right. Ideally, if money wasn't an issue, the most stress-free way of moving is to have a really good moving company come in and move you from point A to point B. The only problem with that is, and there's a saying in the moving industry, good movers aren't cheap and cheap movers aren't good. And that's true. Right. There's no getting around it. Equipment is expensive, insurance expensive, fuel's expensive, maintenance expensive, payroll's expensive. There's just a lot of cost. So the full service move option isn't for everybody because it is expensive. So what we have done in the past, a company that I was with in the past, we had our own moving company and we had opened our own real estate company. And anybody that bought or sold a home through one of our agents, we moved them free of charge to wherever they wanted to go in the country. And we blew up. I mean, it took off like crazy. This was back in the early 2000s. Right. And we got to where we were moving 150 people a month, every month. Right. And then with the implosion of the market in 2007, there was nobody buying homes anymore. Nobody. Right. You couldn't give a home away back then. So anyways, the last couple of years we've tried to resuscitate the program, and it really is ideal. And it's not for everybody, but if you're trying to get the most money out of your house to benefit you the most where you're going, it's an ideal avenue that somebody, and the way it works is, realtors trade referral fees all the time, and they're significant amounts of money. So if we help procure the client and we refer you to one of those agents that are within our network, such as yourself, that those agents have agreed if we refer the client to them, that rather than pay another realtor a referral fee, they'll contribute that referral fee back to the client at close of escrow. So we do it with both listing side and with buying side. You don't have to do both, but it's to your benefit to do both. So the real life application is, a couple weeks ago we unloaded a client. He reached out to us. He was in Tampa, Florida. We referred him to an agent in Tampa, Florida that contributed $9,000 towards the cost of his move. We had him with an agent here in Vegas that contributed $8,000 out of her commission towards the cost of his move. So essentially, he got moved. We moved him 2,330 miles. And he didn't pay a dime out of pocket. His 2 realtor contributions covered the entire cost of his move. Now, it doesn't always work out that well. It depends a lot, and I want to be very transparent about this. It depends on the sale price of the home in the certain areas where you're going and coming from. But at the end of the day, you may get that full service moving company experience by a very reputable moving company for probably less than what a U-Haul may have cost you once you figure in the realtor contributions. It's not rocket science, it's just a real straightforward. We just require those realtors to give back directly to the clients to help them out with the cost of their move.
Understood.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Terry, when we first talked to you about this months ago, you really liked this idea. We've been holding off on making the announcement, but I know, Terry, your main objective is to help people and to educate them. And now with this avenue, we can actually help people save money, and that's super exciting. Terry, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the first thing is that we set up this whole moving list that we have because people were saying that, hey, I gave a broker $5,000 and that's the last I ever heard of them. I've lost my money, or a single guy shows up with a U-Haul half the size of what he needed, and he loaded the truck by himself and drove off and left half the stuff and said he'd come back. We haven't seen him. So brokers are a disaster when it comes to moving. So that we started with that, and then when Jeff and Vince came to us with this idea of, hey, let's help the realtors, help these people buy and sell their house in California, buy their house somewhere else, but then we'll contribute the referral fee back to the client via the close of escrow. So it's all done through escrow. It's not like it's all done legitimately, and that'll help pay for the move. One of the biggest complaints we get is how much a move costs. And it doesn't take a rocket science to know that if you're running a legitimate moving business, you're paying for insurance when others aren't. You've got to hire a high quality of help, because if you hire a schlep, they're going to break stuff, and that's going to give you a bad reputation.
True.
And then you got to have safe drivers. And if anybody's looked at gas prices in the last 2 years, let's go Brandon, that diesel prices are through the roof. So all of that costs money. So that's why we get so many big complaints about the cost of moving. But this is a great solution for the folks in the group to let the realtors help contribute to pay for that. And Muscle Movers brought this idea to us, and I think it's a great idea.
Thank you, Terry. And we do have Vincent Perez here, too. He's the owner of the company. So, Vincent, can you share a little bit about your background and how you started the company?
Yeah, I started the company about 5 years ago. I've been around my whole life. My grandpa, my uncle's a mover, so I've been out of moving trucks pretty much my whole life. Mm-hmm. And I've worked for tons of companies, tons of big nationwide companies, local companies, and always what I've noticed was the companies, sometimes, most of the time, take advantage of their customers, right, and two, take advantage of the employees. I mean, if a company's taking advantage of their employees when they go into a house, they're not going to care if they break your dresser or anything like that. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to create a company and put my employees first, number one. And number two is take care of our customers and just keep to our word. What we say we're going to do is exactly what we're going to do. And it's just funny, by doing what's right for your employees and for your customers, it's turned into, we're a 5-star company across the board. And I mean, it speaks volume in the groups, where we get tons of referrals from these groups. But not only that, from, referrals from agents and other people that are moving, and it's just constantly. I mean, ask Jeff, 90% of our business is from referrals.
Absolutely. I've seen that.
We literally run no ads. We don't run any ads, and it's just because
we don't buy leads either.
We don't buy leads either. We just do what's right by people. So,
yeah, if you haven't had a chance to check out Muscle Movers, you really should check out their website. The website is
musclemoverslv.com.
Yeah, and you can see the reviews. You can see what they do for people. The next topic is one I'm very passionate about, and we talked a little bit about real estate today. I am a licensed realtor here in Nevada, and I could talk for hours about this topic, but Terry has created a network of over 400 realtors. And so if you need help and you want information about if you're selling your home, the home staging process, the competitive market analysis process, how to find a really good realtor, we can definitely connect you. And then as far as whatever city you're going to, Terry, you've got over 400 realtors in the network. We can definitely, and Terry and I have been going on a national tour. I think we have like 15 different videos of some of the top cities where people want to leave California and go to. And we have those interviews on my YouTube channel. But Terry, I'd love for you to share a little bit about how did you get to 400 realtors, and how did you find these people? And could you share a little bit about your real estate team that we have put together?
Yeah, when I got the groups going, I would be tracking the groups, and someone would say, "Hey, I'm going to Knoxville in a couple of weeks. Does anybody know a realtor there?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I know a great realtor there. Haley Van Edom is an amazing realtor, and she'd be happy to give you a tour of the city." She toured me around the city when I went to visit there. So I said, well, shoot, it would be a great idea to help people have a network of realtors they can refer to, people that I know personally, that I've vetted, that are professional and can help people. And so that's how I came up with this list. We started with realtors in California to help people sell their house. And now we've got realtors all across the country in the markets primarily where people want to move. I got to tell you, I don't have a realtor in Chicago because nobody's moving there. So, or
So I'm
New York
guessing
City
not
for that
New York
matter.
either.
Baltimore?
Nope. I do have a Maryland realtor, but I don't have a Baltimore realtor. So
Gotcha.
anyway, that's the reason. And then that grew into the movers list. That grew into the mortgage list, insurance. So my goal is to help people live a better quality of life if that's what their desire is. If they want to stay in California, God bless them.
Right.
But if they want to leave and go live somewhere else where the cost of living is lower, where you know your neighbors, I got to tell you, can I just tell you this real quick? I lived in a cul-de-sac in Martinez, California for 21 years. I knew all of my neighbors in the cul-de-sac. They were great. But I would walk my dogs twice a day around that neighborhood. And I was raised in the South. I say hi to everybody. You know what you got in my neighborhood of 21 years when I said hi to my neighbors? Just look away. I just wasn't raised that way. You know what? I've met dozens of neighbors in my neighborhood now because now I still walk my dogs twice a day. I brought them out from California. I used Nationwide Pet Transport, brought my dogs out from California, did a great job. And I've met literally dozens of people. Almost every time I walk my dogs, I meet somebody I haven't met before, and they're as nice as they can be. And if they're not nice, that just means they moved here from New York. So that's okay. Back to you, David.
We talked about, Jeff touched on this, and Terry talks about this a lot. We want to be very transparent, and what we set up is it's a referral network. I mean, let's face it, I am a realtor, and we do get referrals all the time. So what we're doing is we're trying to create a referral network where the realtor will contribute 25% of the commission towards your moving cost. We'll put it towards the closing costs. It'll happen in escrow. We're going to be very transparent with you on this whole process. And then there's still referral fees to be paid. And we want to ultimately help you get a real professional moving company like Muscle Movers to take care of your move. So, and again, we talked about the website. It's musclemoverslv.com. You can go to that website and you can, we do a free consultation. Right?
Yeah, can I talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
Yeah, do you want to do that at the end, or you want to do that right now? You want to go now?
Right now would be great.
Right now.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on this. Like everybody that's a member of these Facebook pages, Terry has allowed us to participate on these platforms, and it's meant a tremendous amount of business for Muscle Movers. And for that, we're very appreciative. We do a ton of business off those pages. We also offer our expertise and knowledge to anybody that's a member of those pages, and we do it on the regular. I spoke to a client today. He's living in Hesperia. He's a contractor for the U.S. Air Force. He's moving to Ohio, right? And he's like, hey, I've been scared to death with all these brokers and all these moving scams and da-da-da-da-da. So I already know that we can't move him because a dedicated truck from Hesperia to Ohio exceeds his budget. But he filled out an inventory for us. I'm going to tell him exactly how much space he'll take up on a U-Pack, and I'm going to save him a ton of money, knowing full well we don't get anything out of the deal, but I'm happy to do that for him because then he will tell his friends and family about us as a resource. So if you're a single mom living in San Diego and you're just renting and you're moving to Austin, Texas, and you're just going to rent there, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We will help you find a solution for your moving needs that's most cost effective for you. We will steer you clear of brokers. Don't anybody use a moving broker. Terry already hit on that. But we don't even talk to brokers. We don't broker out any loads. We don't accept loads from brokers. That whole scenario is a nightmare. But yeah, just reach out to us. We're happy to give you as much information. It's kind of like if you had a construction question and your brother-in-law was a general contractor, you would call him. We want to be that resource for all these people on Life After California, Leaving California. It's easy for us to do, and we can save them a ton of heartache down the road, steer them clear of scams, and I mean, there's a ton of solutions they probably haven't even thought of.
Right. And that's just like Terry is, because I see Terry Gilliam posting all the time on his sites, and people are asking questions. And Terry, you hit as many of those questions as you can. I think you told me that some days, how many posts do you have a day?
Well, we have hundreds of posts a day between the two groups and thousands of comments. So there's, it's a very busy group.
Do you ever sleep? Because I see your name on some of this. How do you get to all these people? I see you on a lot. And go ahead, you can answer that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it is 11 o'clock approaching 11 o'clock at night, way past my bedtime here in Florida. I'm an early riser, so it's that's the one downside, is that Monday Night Football and Facebook Lives come on late here.
Yeah. What Jeff was saying is that we will give out free advice. I mean, realtors, we do that all the time. So if you just want to bounce an idea off of us, we would love to spend time and tell you what our thoughts are. The movers will do it. Terry will do it. And Terry, I know we're running out of time, but I have to ask, because I know that there were some people that said they just want to come and see Terry Gilliam. They'd never met you in person. They never heard you talk before. So maybe you could share a couple of stories, maybe some success stories of, when you see these people holding up a sign, we made it to Dallas, we made it to Nashville, and you see the whole family, there's 7 of them, they're just standing there with this big old smile on their face. Could you share some of those stories and maybe share some ideas and thoughts for people that are thinking about leaving California, and maybe they should or maybe they shouldn't?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. As recently as 3 weeks ago, I was in Fort Worth, Texas for some business. I was riding down the hotel elevator, and I just said hi to the guy next to me, which again, I tell you, I say hi to almost everybody. And he said hi back, and I said, "Where are you from?" He goes, "Oh, I just moved here from California. I moved my family and my business here from California." I said, "Really?" I said, "Oh, I started 2 Facebook groups, Leaving California and Life After California, to help people get out of California." He goes, "I'm in those groups." Great to meet him. His name was Amit. Amit used to run a business in Southern California. He said it was nothing but a nightmare with the regulatory conditions that were there, the cost of doing business there. He said regulators would walk in, inspectors, and they would just say, "Take your checkbook out. You're going to get fined today for this, for this, for this." Moved his business to Fort Worth. Fort Worth was very welcoming to him, helped him find a place, got him up and running. He is thriving there. So that was very rewarding. It's also rewarding. I've met people in other parts of the country. I went to a dinner around Christmas time in Greenville, South Carolina, with our awesome realtor there, Shay Felknor. She's helped a lot of people in the groups move from California to Greenville, South Carolina. And these people were just so happy. They're just wonderful couples and families that had moved from California to Greenville and just loving life outside of the rat race that really is California. And really, it's an encouragement for those who are still there. Right. The people that, whether they're stuck there because of a job and they're too far from retiring or don't want to change careers, or they've got family in California, I understand. All of those things can apply, or they just don't want to leave the beautiful weather, because it is. But it just helps encourage them to know that there is a great life. And by the way, life is not perfect anywhere. You're not going to necessarily move to another place and it's going to be everything that you didn't want from California. But I will tell you, as somebody who moved to Florida 2 years ago, and then again, I was born and raised here. I knew what to expect. Life is great in Florida, and I really enjoy living here. Now, we did get to 90 degrees today at the end of March. I don't mind telling you, it does get hot, and I may want to trade places with you in August, but I will take our governor, and I will take the legislature here, and the pro-family, pro-God, pro-Christian, or not anti-Christian, life here that we have here in Florida. And again, I've got a great neighborhood I live in with great people, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
You can definitely get an amen on that one from me. And then Jeff, do you have anything you'd like to say in closing?
Just that if you have any questions, you have any concerns, especially if you don't know if you're making the right decision, you can always reach out to us. You can find us on musclemoverslv.com and just reach out to us and say, "Hey, here's my situation. What are my possible solutions?" And we're here for you. We're happy to do it. And we've done it for a lot of people on the pages that we ended up not moving, but they went back and said, "Hey, Jeff and Vince helped us out. They answered a lot of our questions. They saved us from making some big mistakes. And we just want to be a resource there for you. And if we can do your move and save you a ton of money, it's really worth looking into.
Anything you want to say that's in closing, and make sure that you say your website so people know how to find us too.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that tuned in, to take their time out of their night to just listen to us and what we're offering for everybody. And again, our website is musclemoverslv.com, and I hope everyone has a blessed night.
Terry, anything in closing?
No, just LV is in Las Vegas. That's why it's LV, Larry Victor.
Yes.
Muscle Movers LV. Now, just thank everybody for being in the groups. Appreciate you guys who are contributing. By the way, if you're a troll, we kick you out, so you won't be here much longer anyway. It's great to have you guys in the group, and I appreciate everyone's help.
And we're probably going to do some more of these. We're going to try and figure out if you guys have anything that you would like for us to talk about more, or maybe have another podcast on a different topic. We would definitely entertain that. And again, thank you so much. My name's David Berry. Thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to us. I hope you got some good information out of this. I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Later.